MeidasTouch has been putting out so many great videos. We did the story about Laura Ingram's takedown from MeidasTouch, and we have another incredible one here. So the way they structured it, and they just do such a great way of both giving you important information, but in a way that is very entertaining and cool and all that. So they did a game show style little video where they use clips from debates to pretend like a game show is going on, to highlight different facts that people should be aware of about the Republican Party, the contrast between the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Take a look at this, just really, really good stuff.
Welcome back to America's least favorite game show with Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, and Marco Rubio. It's something true about crime in the United States. Ted Cruz.
We know from past experience that the most effective tool for keeping kids safe is armed law enforcement on the campus.
This is a disturbing pattern now. Ted Cruz has just been telling lies.
Researchers have studied more than 130 cases, finding that armed guards were not associated with any significant reduction in injury rates during mass shootings.
Marco Rubio.
I always find it interesting that the reflexive reaction of the left is to say we need more gun laws. Criminals don't follow gun laws. And there's just no evidence that these gun laws would prevent these shootings.
I have to say, he lied this time. He lied, 100%.
A new study that shows states with weaker gun laws have higher rates of both firearm-related homicides and suicides.
Donald Trump.
The 20 most dangerous are Democrat-run. Worse than Honduras, worse than Afghanistan.
8 of the 10 states with the highest murder rates in 2020 voted for Trump, and that murder rate's 40% higher in Trump voting states compared to Biden voting states.
So let me read this out for our podcast listeners, the final facts they put up on the screen. Republicans voted against $350 billion to help hire more police. Democratic-led cities spend more money on policing than Republican cities. This year, red states enacted 20 extreme bills to weaken gun laws. Murder rates are increasing faster in red states than blue states. So the reason I play this is we've been discussing pretty extensively recently the fact that while the Democratic Party is just clearly better on the policies and has done more for the working person, they don't seem to have the ability enough to make that known, to communicate that to people so that people respond accordingly. And the Republican Party, with the lack of policy proposals they have to improve people's lives, somehow managed to brand themselves in a way that is leading them to possibly win this midterm, even though they are actively, much of their party, against our democratic process, in addition to not wanting to help working people in any significant way. And yet they still come up with a way to communicate, brand, attack the Democratic Party so effectively that they do well politically. And so Gavin Newsom has been talking about this a lot too. The Democratic Party needs to stop being on the defense all the time and get on the offense. And I think things like this, where don't stray away from the issues that Republicans sometimes like to attack Democrats on. Instead, you go on the offense and say, listen, and we've talked about these stats a lot recently, Republican states, when you look at the top 10 highest violent crime states, 8 of them are Republican. And as they were highlighting there, the murder rates increasing are disproportionately or are at a higher rate in Republican states. And so we can't allow the Republican Party to say just because Biden is president, the rising crime is an outcome of the Democratic Party's policies. It is clear that the Republican Party's policies, while they have a whole lot of rhetoric about crime, don't actually lead to the best outcomes on that front. And we have to make that point clearly. Same thing as they highlight with the security policies or how to lower mass shootings, or at least make the casualties less significant. And the fact that Republicans pretend to be so pro-police and say this, the Democratic Party wants to defund the police, but really the Democratic Party funds more and wants to more, and the Republican Party stands against it. So that needs to be taken. Take the facts because they're on our side, and then smack politically the heck out of the talking points and the lies that are told by the other side. I think we can do it if more people understand the truth behind these issues. Oftentimes we just see oddly people who should know these things get so scared when they get attacked by the Republican Party. No. Lean in, fight back politically, not real, but politically. If the Democratic Party could learn to do that and could have both the policy being better as well as the messaging being better, I think that would lead to incredible outcomes in the future. So hopefully we see it. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before any of the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get access to an extra full show every Saturday that only members can see, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley, and there is a link in the description.